Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and welcome to my May back garden tour. I think I'm posting this video on the very last day that I post in May. I think it's the last day or the second to last day. And I don't know what took me so long to film this garden tour. I think because I kept waiting because there's been so much happening back here and so much change. I keep saying, oh, I'll film the garden tour after that gets installed. Oh, I'll film the garden tour after I plant that. But I've waited long enough for my whole channel, as long as I've been doing my channel, which is I think almost 4 years. I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary. I have done a front garden tour and a back garden tour, or a combined garden tour, every single month, just to show the progress of my garden. And it's really, really fun when there's actually pretty significant change from one month to the next, and you all will see that here. I'm sure, as you can see behind me, my beautiful West Lodge fountain from Haddonstone, my sculptures, my pots, everything is just looking so amazing, and not to mention the beautiful blooms that are back here today. So funny enough, it doesn't really seem like a May garden tour because it is overcast and possibly going to start drizzling in about an hour, which we have had the most interesting weather this year. It's been so interesting. For the past 2 days, we've had rain, which the garden and myself has completely loved. Everything feels fresh and kind of, you know, all the dust is cleaned off, and it's just, it's so nice, but I have to say it's so weird. The other thing I will say is I might have to stop halfway through. It's just one of those things, right? It's one of those days. Our dishwasher broke. We couldn't get it fixed. We had to get a new dishwasher. The new dishwasher didn't fit. We had to get a second dishwasher. And then that's getting delivered today. And then our hot water heater broke this morning. So I think that's just the problem of living in a somewhat older house. This part of the house was built a long time ago. Like, I don't even know how long ago. I think in the 50s or something like that. And then this part of the house was built as an add-on in the 90s. And it's just showing its age, and everything is kind of breaking one after the other. And I have to admit, and Jason, he will agree with me if we asked him. Jason and I are not good with this type of stuff, this type of house stuff, things breaking and all that kind of stuff. We have to call people in to get it fixed. Out in the garden, we can do it, but inside the house, we're just not as good. So it's been kind of a hectic day, but at least there's some calm and peace back here in the garden, and I will show it to all of you right now. So let me just start with the most beautiful addition to my garden this season, really ever, is this beautiful fountain from Haddonstone. And I've told you all this before. It's about 99% done. I lost the pointing mix, basically the grout that goes in between these pieces. When a pool surround like this is delivered, it's delivered in pieces so that the people who are installing it can kind of move it and get it set in place. And then it's kind of grouted in so that you barely see the seams. And the proper color of the grout was misplaced by someone, and I'm going to take responsibility because I should have been keeping track of it. And so we had to wait for Haddonstone to send another one, and now I'm waiting for Tomas to come and grout it. We have the pointing mix, the grout, and it just needs to be grouted. So it's 99% done, but isn't it the most beautiful, beautiful fountain? I just absolutely love it. So the center is called the West Lodge fountain, and that is in the color code. Both are in the color code. And then the pool surround is called the Roman small pool surround. This is a small pool surround. And to me, this is, can you imagine what the big one is like? It just must be crazy. And my thought is I do want to put some water plants and stuff in there, but that will come with time. I want to wait for it to get grouted. And then I do have some beautiful Summer Serenade lavender that I want to plant around the outskirts of it. And then I also have 2 boxwoods that I'm going to put there. So this is going to be all full and lush. And one thing I did want to point out is that it doesn't splash. So the Summer Serenade lavender isn't going to get any of the water. I actually think it's going to be a perfect spot for it because it's surrounded by concrete and then even some gravel. So I think it'll be nice and warm, and it'll dry out, and it'll just be the perfect spot around it to have that lavender. Now, it is a new variety of lavender that I have yet to try from Proven Winners. Proven Winners has Sweet Romance lavender, and this is the first new lavender that they've come out with in like 20 years or something like that. So it will be kind of a trial, but I think this is the perfect spot to trial, the Summer Serenade Lavender. I think it's going to be really beautiful. So behind the gorgeous West Lodge fountain, you can see I have one of my Seasons statues. This is actually Winter. And I just think she is so, I just think these statues are so beautiful. I love them. And then if you can see back there, I have Fall back there in the back corner. I'll make my way over there and show you Fall. But Winter is beautiful. And we put her right next to our October Glory maples. We have 2 October Glory maples. This one is about 2 years old, if you can believe it. It's absolutely huge. And my plan is to limb it up so it's limbed up right above her, and it'll kind of like go right over her, like an umbrella kind of, right, crown over her. And I just think it's going to be so pretty. And then with having the foliage over her like that and having the shade, she's actually going to patina a little bit more quickly than she would if she was just out in the open. And I can't wait for them. I mean, they're beautiful already, but I can't wait for them to patina and get that aged look that cast stone gets. And I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So around her in the berm, I have all these beautiful annuals planted. I have Super Petunia Vista Snowdrift. I have Hoopla. I have Pink Gara that I actually need to cut back. And it is so hard for me to cut back Gara, you guys, because it's so beautiful. But I know it's like Nepeta. I know I need to cut it back so it'll flush out again. But I just don't want to. So it's on my list of things that I definitely need to do. It's just so beautiful. And then I have Meteor Shower Verbena, and then some Superbena Violet Ice. And the Violet Ice, I don't think this comes across on camera as intensely as it does in real life. It is just really, really beautiful. And I love these plantings here, and I love that the berms were not actually part of the plan. The berms were when the construction workers were scooping out all the excess soil to put in this patio back here. They, instead of taking it away, we had the idea to make berms kind of, or mounds, I guess I would say, kind of all around the October Glory maples. There's one over there, there's one over there, and I just think it gives so much depth and so much interest to this back garden. I can't imagine it without the berms. So if you have excess soil, and if you have a really flat property like I have, I mean, I don't know if you do. I feel like my property is so flat. I go and I do garden tours of other people's gardens, and they just have these hills and they have this different interest, and I just get so jealous. So I'm very happy to have my berms, and I just think that they look really, really pretty. Another thing that I did that I don't think I filmed is I planted these boxwoods here. I planted one there, one there. One's going to go right there, one's going to go right there, and then I have a third one over here. And then I also planted a line of boxwoods over here, and all these boxwoods came from my friend Roberta Walker, who's a landscape designer, and she's working on a project, and they were getting rid of all of these beautiful, beautiful plants. And instead of them going into the landfill, she offered them to me. So I rented a U-Haul, I went and picked them up, and I was able to get them out in the garden. And the majority of them are doing really well. As you can see, behind the boxwoods, I have my podocarpus hedge. And I would say the podocarpus hedge is probably 75% happy. Some of them look really great. Some of them are doing really well. Some of them I think have completely died, but it's like they're not completely dead yet. So I'm trying to hold out, but I have a feeling I'm going to be replacing like this podocarpus and this podocarpus. So basically all of these, there's about 30 of them all around the property, and they all came from the same property that the boxwoods came from. And we transplanted them, and we tried to get them in the ground as soon as humanly possible. And we still got it's stress. They're in shock basically. And most of them are doing good, as you can see. Most of them are doing good, but then there's the odd one out that looks really bad. And, I personally, it bothers me. I look out here and I see it and I go, I just want to go buy new podocarpus and replace it. But I'm trying to be really patient and give them time to bounce back, because, I'll show you guys back here. We have 5 short podocarpus that were kind of in the first round of the transplant, and they're like 3 of them are doing fine, 2 of them are struggling, 1 I think is completely dead. But This is so funny. I just have to show you guys because you all saw me transplant these. You can see these did fine. This one is half. This one, see, Jason and I keep going back and forth. We keep looking at it. It has some new growth on it. Do you know what I mean? And the branches are all bendy, like they're all flexible. Nothing's brittle. Like, look at that. Nothing's brittle. So we're sitting here and we're thinking, okay, it might just be in shock. And it might have just all turned brown because it's in shock, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think, right? And I'm trying really hard not to just like phone it in and go out and buy a new tree. And I'm sure probably half of you want me to just do that so it looks better. But I'm trying really hard to show that you can transplant plants, and if you're patient, they'll grow in and they'll look absolutely beautiful. So these 5 were at that property, and they were actually cut in half to fit underneath a deck. So they were already kind of stressed out anyway when I was planting them. So I'm kind of not surprised that these guys got so stressed out. I am a little surprised that so many of these got stressed out because we planted them pretty quickly. But again, I think they're still alive. Everything's still supple and everything like that. So I think maybe by next year they'll get all new foliage and they'll look a little bit better. So if you guys see this in the background, just know it's not looking 100%, but it was like thousands of dollars worth of trees that I got for free and that didn't go in the landfill. So to me, it was worth it. Okay, so back up by the house, I wanted to point out my umbrellas that I just got. We had our contractor sink in these umbrella holders in the little gaps in our patio, and I just love it. I mean, it didn't cost too much money. It was pretty easy, and then I could go buy these umbrellas. These umbrellas, I told you guys, they are from Walmart, if you can believe it. I love them. I think they're great. Let me open one so you can see it. There it is, open. I think it's a very pretty umbrella. It's kind of a knockoff. It's like a dupe of some nicer umbrellas. But I mean, so far, I'm really, really happy with it. I think it's really, really nice. So anyway, Walmart, I think it's the brand My Texas House. I would say they're pretty good. I haven't tried them out for a whole season yet, but I like them so far. I did want to point out the back of the house though, because this might change this month. I'm not sure when the contractor is going to be able to come and do it, but let me show you all my inspiration photo that I want for the back of this house. The back of this house is just very bare and very white and not very interesting. So I wanted to find something that was really, really interesting on the back of the house. I did order some window boxes to go underneath this window and this window over here. And then the lattice, like in that inspiration photo, I'm going to have my contractor Tomas install. And I've already planted these Dress to Thrill crossvines from Proven Winners. And I have to say, they were babies when I planted them, and they are growing pretty intensely. Like, look at this. It's already grown like a foot, and they've only been in for a couple weeks, I would say. So these are going to grow up the lattice, the back of the house, and basically cover the back of the house, which I actually think is going to cool down the area a lot because it's obviously going to cover this white wall that the sun shines off of in the afternoon. So I think it's going to cool it down a lot, which is going to be really great. And it's just going to be absolutely beautiful. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully it'll happen soon. But you know how it is, like the contractors, they're so busy and they have so much stuff going on that, to kind of fit it all in, it's like maybe it'll be 2 weeks, maybe it'll be 3 weeks, not totally sure. So hoping it'll be about 2 weeks. But anyway, so that's that. And then I skipped over this. This is my Gothic planter in terracotta. This thing is beautiful. This thing is never going anywhere. This is sturdy and it's intense and it's big and it's thick, and I cannot wait to plant some things in it. I'm already thinking of what I want to plant in it and all that kind of stuff. But it's just another beautiful piece from Haddonstone that is going to patina, and it's just going to look so, so gorgeous. And then from that house that I've gotten all these plants from, they have 80 more boxwoods, if you can believe it, 80 more boxwoods. And they've already offered them to me, and I'm very excited about it. And so I'll have some more boxwoods kind of around here, making this kind of like a little parterre area. So there's still a lot of fun stuff to do around here and still a lot of stuff to add on. But just what I have thus far, I am just I am just so happy with. I love looking back here, especially in the morning. Like it's just so beautiful. I just love it. So here's the other berm, a little close-up look at the other berm. I really like this color combination, the purples, the fuchsia, the hoopla, and the pink of the Gara. I just think it's really pretty. And then of course the October Glory maple, which is just stunning. I mean, it's such a beautiful maple tree during the spring and summer. And then we also get the fall color for the October Glory maple. I just think it's such a great tree, and they're obviously very, very happy in this spot. So let me take you all back here to where my beds are, and I'm very excited about my beds this year. I did something a little different. Usually I do cut flowers or veggies or more of like a working garden, and this year I just didn't get around to that. I didn't get around to starting any seeds or really planning it because there was so much construction and so much change going on. So what I ended up doing is I ended up planting some leftover annuals that I had, and they're looking really good. Like here, I planted the Coconut Appeal Thunbergia, and that's starting to grow up these panels here. I did plant some Meteor Shower Verbena. I planted some Heliotrope there. In this bed back here, excuse me, Monty. This bed, I planted some Supertunia Saffron Finch. I planted some Lobelia, but the Lobelia is not very happy back here. It's not the happiest back here, so I don't think that that's going to last, but I do have this perfectly pink Angelonia that's looking absolutely gorgeous. Really, really pretty. And then back here, I'm trying out a new plant. This one is called Nectar Ninja. It's a perennial from Proven Winners. It's supposed to be a pollinator crazy plant. Now, unfortunately, it flushed when I still had it in its cans before I planted it. It had its first flush, and I cut it all back, so I'm waiting for its second flush, but you can see I have 3 of those there. And then I have some James Protenia. I have some Lantana, and I just think it's going to be really pretty when it all fills in. Let me show you this. Oh my gosh, look at this, you guys. If you don't know Polka, get to know Polka, because this is such a beautiful, beautiful rose. I just love it. This one over here had been blooming a lot, and I already deadheaded it. And I just planted these just this spring. So they're still very, very young, but my goodness, Polka is absolutely beautiful. And I planted some Wedgwood Blue Angelonia right next to it, and just look how pretty that is. Once it all fills in, it's just gonna be gorgeous. And then back in this bed, this is my purple and white bed. White Angelonia, some Meteor Shower Verbena, Meteor Shower Verbena, some Sparkling Amethyst Superbena, just a really, really gorgeous bed. And on this bed, I have my New Dawn Climbing Rose. And my New Dawn Climbing Rose, like, look at this rose. It's like, it's not climbing, it's like going out. So I have to come in and I have to really start pruning it. I have plans for how I'm going to hook everything on these posts, because these are all climbing roses that I'm going to climb up. I saw at the San Francisco Botanical Gardens, I've told you all about this a little before, but they had eye hooks. They did eye hooks, 4 eye hooks around the posts, and then they did a circle of wire. And so basically it was a circle of wire like this, and that's how they trained things up posts. And I just thought it was so smart, and it was so genius. And so that's something else that's on my list that I have to do this month so that I can start training these climbing roses up there. The last climbing rose that I have is another beautiful one. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at that rose. And this is, of course, its second flush. This is called the Impressionist. My friend Deb from A Cozy Garden, she recommended this one, and hers is just absolutely stunning. And mine is already starting. I mean, it looks like a painting. It's already starting to look absolutely beautiful. I just love it. And then in this bed, I have some leftover dahlias that I thought I pulled out, but of course I must have left some tubers in the ground, and they started popping up, and it's like, well, I can't pull them out now. I don't know the names of any of them, but they're all very, very pretty. I absolutely love them. And then I tucked in some extra pink cloud, Super Tunia Mini Vista pink cloud around it. So I think that'll be really pretty. And then finally over here in the last bed, I have another dahlia that's actually not blooming yet. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but I just planted my black cherry tomato and then some basil around it. So that's my little token veggie garden because I did want some tomatoes. So that's my little token veggie garden, and I'm very happy that it's there. And then I will quickly address the pots that I've had sitting out here for quite a couple weeks now. You guys might have noticed it and seen it in the back of my videos. And there's a plan. There's a plan for these. We're just not there yet. So my plan for either side of the greenhouse back here, I'm actually really excited about. Proven Winners and Walter's Gardens, who does Proven Winners perennials, they have a really great program called the Easyscape program. And if you all haven't heard of it, it's genius. It's really, really great. Basically, they've curated collections of perennial plants, sometimes adding in some shrubs and stuff like that as well. But they basically curated collections of plants so that you can basically order it online, go to the garden center, grab a handful of maybe like 5 or 6 plants, plant them in your garden, and you're set. It's an Easyscape. You don't have to think about it. So they asked me this year if I wanted to design one, and I said, absolutely, yes, thank you so much. So I designed one called Janie's Jewel Box Garden, and I really focused on jewel colors, really beautiful colors that's just going to bring so much life and so much color to your garden, and plants that I know bloom really, really well and really, really beautifully throughout the season. And so that's what I'm planning to plant here. I'll show you guys a little look of what it's going to look like. I am still waiting for a delivery of some other plants before I plant these up, but I just got anxious and I wanted to lay these out and kind of see how they were going to go with my summer statue over here. Or sorry, she's autumn. I keep thinking she's summer because she's holding a bundle of grapes. And then the actual summer statue is holding a wheat bundle. And that to me just seems backwards. It seems like wheat should be fall and summer should be grapes. But maybe that's just the Californian in me. I don't know. But anyway, she is autumn, and I wanted to see how the Easyscape was going to look with autumn and everything like that. So this is a project that I'm working on. I'm kind of planning, and I want it to go really, really well because I'm very excited about this Easyscape collection. So I'll put a link to it in the description down below so you guys can read more into it. And then if you have deer, or if you have too much sun, or if you have lack of water, or if you have any type of issues, they have an Easyscape planting plan that should help you with your issue. So it's cool, it's really neat, and I would definitely recommend checking it out. There's Monty drinking out of his new water bowl that he is very happy about, mind you. And then look at the rain clouds. Isn't that crazy? Oh my goodness. It's such interesting weather. So, anyway, I haven't done anything with my greenhouse. I still need to work on that. But one thing I did want to point out was the olive tree. And the olive tree was, also a transplant from that project from Roberta Walker. And knock on wood, I want to say, I think the olive tree is taking. I think it's doing really, really well. I think it's happy. I keep looking at it. I'm like holding my breath around it because I don't want to irritate it and stress it out anymore than it already is. But I think it's looking pretty good. So happy to say that the olive tree is looking great. Now over here, this area is, it's a work in progress. We have plans, by we, I mean me and Michael Glassman. We have plans for this whole area over here, and I'm sure those plans are going to change 8 more times because that's kind of what happens. But we have plans that kind of has to do with these guys. So this is actually a Korean maple from Isley, but then I have other Japanese maples over here, and we're thinking of making this kind of like a Japanese maple collection area because this is just such a perfect spot underneath the Chinese pistache to be planting some Japanese maples. I have some other plants that I've planted over here, some hostas and some ferns, and they look really good. They're doing really good. I mean, look at this hosta over here. This one is absolutely, is this Empress Wu? I think this is Empress Wu. It's doing really, really well, but this whole area needs to be taken care of. I still have my hot tub over here, and the hot tub is going, a lot of you have asked me where the hot tub is going to go. We're going to make a place for the hot tub back here. I'm going to take my little pond out. We have all plans to go back here. It's just not done yet, right? Just because we've been working over there, and this area is just kind of getting neglected a little bit. Now, what hasn't been getting neglected are my beautiful babies. Hi, girls. Let me get you a treat before I come in. So when I say treat, I am getting the chickens little treats from these two garden beds right here. I planted these garden beds up on purpose for treats for the bunnies and treats for the chickens, and they are absolutely in love with it. They're actually kind of spoiled, and they just expect me to show up with treats, which I completely understand, but it's so nice to have this. I have lettuce and I have some cover crops. I have lots of weeds in here. Their favorite is this buckwheat right here, which has been growing really fast. And then I have some herbs and different things like that. The bunnies like the herbs a little more. The chickens seem to really like the cover crops, and they love it. And I just bring them a little handful every day, and they're just so happy. Let me just show you guys the Victorian lady flowering maple. If you can get your hands on this plant, get your hands on this plant. Actually, my friend Raphael, he took a cutting of this plant and rooted it. He said it's already rooted in and growing. So if you can even find a cutting of this plant, take it so that you can have it, because it's just beautiful. You girls are getting so big every time I come see you. You're so big. Okay, take turns. Take turns. They are just the sweetest, cutest things. I've told you guys this, but if I sit out here long enough, they'll come and sit on my lap, especially the two gold ones. This is Daisy, and that's Honey right there. And they are the Buff Orpingtons, and I have to say they're my favorite chickens. They are just this. Yes, I'm talking about you, honey. Yes, I am talking about you. They're just so sweet. I just love them. So these girls are, I want to say they're like 4 months old now or something like that. So they're not quite laying yet, but hopefully they will be soon. And I got chickens last year, but I got them older to start with. And I think that just really stressed them out. These girls, I got 1 to 2 days old and have been raising them since they were that young. And they just seem so much happier and so much more adapted to this spot. So I think that's definitely the way to go. It does take a lot of work having the brooder and everything like that, but if you're going to raise chickens, I would say definitely raise them from babies instead of getting pullets or older. Deliveries here. Okay, at least we'll have a dishwasher. No dishwasher. Oh, they sent the wrong one. Oh my goodness, you guys. It's just one thing after another. It's one of those days. Okay, let's talk about gardening. Let's not talk about hot water heaters and dishwashers and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so here are my 3 stock tanks that I have planted up, and I think that they look so pretty. I can tell I planted them around Easter time because they're definitely Easter colors, which now as the season is moving on a little bit, it's kind of looking more and more springy and less summery, but that's okay. I very much like them. I did plant all these in different ways, and they have just kind of exploded as super petunias do, and they look very, very pretty. The only one that I'm not loving right now is this one, because I did cut back my lemon coral sedum, but I think I cut it back too far right here, so there's kind of like this blank spot. So I'm kind of hoping the super petunias kind of grow over that. But if you look at the cool jazz is just looking absolutely beautiful, really pretty, especially this kind of whole springy, cool colored color combination. So anyway, there goes Home Depot. No dishwasher. I did want to show you guys the stock tanks over here. These were actually the 2 stock tanks that were on either side of my office door, and we moved them over here. And my plan is I'm actually going to take these plants out and transplant them I want to do bougainvillea right here. I thought bougainvillea would be really pretty. This is a south-facing wall. It gets so hot here. It has the concrete underneath. It's going to be boiling hot here. So any other plant is going to suffer and not be able to handle it. But bougainvillea might be really, really pretty on this wall. So I think that would be really pretty. That's another thing that I definitely want to do. These aren't even hooked up to drip yet. I've been hand watering these. And I need to transplant the purple fountain grass and the plain the blue salvia. So, and I'm probably going to transplant it over by the willow tree. So anyway, there's that. And then last but not least, I definitely want to show you guys this garden bed because I am loving this garden bed. I mean, it still needs some work. It still needs to be mulched. I found all that mulch behind the chicken coop the other day, and I'm going to use that old mulch kind of around here just to make it look a little bit nicer. But this whole area I planted up with just all these beautiful plants, all this splash of color. The Shasta daisies are starting to bloom. I have marshmallow right here, and then I have the Daisy May Shasta daisies, which are hands down my favorite, and they're so beautiful. And then I have these new Nyphophia right here, and I swear, you add Nyphophia to a garden, and it just makes such a huge difference. There's just something about Nyphophia. It's just so interesting in a garden, as is the Sunjoy Fast Neo Barberry right there, that red plant. I just think it is so beautiful. Now, I do need to paint this fence as I'm looking at it. I think it got stained at some point, maybe when they were doing the concrete or something like that. I definitely need to work on that. But if you just stand back a little bit and look at this garden and look at what the idea of this garden is, it's really, really pretty. And I just love all these colors. And this is what I'm talking about for that Easyscape jewel box garden, is just planting all these colors in a garden. This area was such a throwaway. I never even looked at it. I usually just kind of threw stuff over here and didn't pay attention to it. And just planting it up with all these colors has completely transformed it, and I just love it. Oh, I forgot to show you guys my secret garden. I haven't done much over there in the secret garden in the past month, but let me just show you, because things have been growing in a little bit. So let me just show you how they're growing in and how they look. Okay, so here's my secret shade garden. This is on the north side of my house, just the opposite side that I was just on, and it's so lush and beautiful, and it's just looking so good. You can see my bower vine is starting to bloom, which is looking really, really pretty, so gorgeous. And everything is just kind of filling in, and I swear every month this area just gets more and more lush, and I absolutely love it. I would say the most beautiful thing about this area this month is the installation of the Georgian bird bath from Haddonstone. I mean, this vista right here, it is just so incredibly beautiful. And as I get a little closer, I know I already showed you this in my front garden tour, but look at all the beautiful plants. Look at that vista. Isn't that just, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So the secret garden, I'm keeping the color scheme white, green, foliage colors, all that kind of stuff, as you can see. The Surefire White Begonia is looking absolutely gorgeous. Sprinter boxwoods are sprinting. They are growing so fast. I feel like they've doubled in size already. And then I just added some coleus. This is the Albrido coleus. This is the Space Age Rex Begonia. Some more Surefire White Begonia. It's just looking so good. And then I'm trying not to show inside the girls' rooms. But here's my window boxes that are looking so good as well. And again, these I stuck with the foliage color and the white blooms and the ferns, and then a little darkness from this Medusa Black Ipomea. And it's just looking so good. It's looking so good. I do have to point out, look at my false hydrangea vine. Look at how gorgeous this plant is. Look at all the way up. Oh my goodness, I just love this thing so much. It is just so gorgeous. The one thing I will say is not really working here, I have these pots and I have these panicle hydrangeas in them. These are limelight hydrangeas, and as you can see, more sun light requirement issues. They are reaching for the sun so badly. I'm thinking about staking them up and forcing them to stay over here, but This is a very much a sun transition area. I've, talked about this a million times with you all, but basically, since it's the north side of my house, I get tons of shade. It's like full shade right next to the house. And then over here, it gets to be full sun. I know you can't tell because it's overcast today, but over on this side, it's full sun. And so it's really hard to find plants that work well kind of in both areas, and then also will be kind of okay over here. But then as the sun sets, so you can see the sun sets over here and the sun rises behind me. So these plants actually do get some sun. I'm just having a hard time figuring out exactly which ones are working. And I thought the hydrangeas would work pretty well because they do like more shade, but they can tolerate a little bit of sun. But as you can see, they are all just reaching so bad. So I'm gonna stake them up, and I'm gonna see if I can force them to stand up a little bit straighter. But I can already tell that this plant it's not the happiest there just because of how much it's reaching. I'm not gonna change it this year, but I'll figure it out. And luckily, I just planted them in pots. I had to plant the hydrangeas in pots because we do have a walnut tree there and a walnut tree. No, that's a pistache. A walnut tree over there. And so the black walnut has jugalone, and hydrangeas they're jugalone intolerant. So I couldn't plant it straight in the ground. So that's why they're in pots. But I can change them out pretty easily, no big deal. And I probably will be doing that. And then last but not least, I have to point out my coral bark maples. They're just so pretty. Look at how gorgeous this is. It just looks so good. I love that there. Oh, I know I just said last but not least. I have one more thing to show you all. I think this is a long video. I have a lot to show you all this in the back garden this month. Okay, so last thing I'll show you. For real, the last thing I'll show you is my round heritage planters. These are such big planters, and I just planted them up yesterday with these improved Meyer lemons, and I just love them. There's pollinators, there's bees on them. I already have little fruit on them. They're going to grow probably 8 to 10 feet tall, I would say, so they're going to be pretty big, and I'm going to prune it up so they look like little lollipops. Now, I think the video came out today as I'm filming it, and I'm reading some comments, and you guys are so funny. Some of you, not all of you. Like about half of you are just like me and don't even pay attention to the little frames on the pots. But there was quite a lot of you that were like, you need to turn it. It's my OCD. You need to turn it. So I read your comments. I will turn it for you all. I promise. It's just so funny because that didn't even cross my mind. Centering the pots perfectly like that, because to me they look right. They look like they're totally fine like that. But I get what you guys are saying, that they just need to be turned a little bit. The problem is they are so heavy, and I'm going to have a couple guys come and help me turn them. So that I will definitely do, but I think they look so pretty like this. And with my Crown Princess Margareta Rose right next to them, and then Autumn in the background. Oh, the sight lines of this backyard are just getting better and better every single day. I just love it. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, you guys. So I think that's going to be it for my May back garden tour. What a fun tour. I had fun taking you all around and showing you what everything is looking like, because I am really excited about the progress in the backyard. And there's still so much more to do. There's still so many more things that I have plans to do, and projects and all that kind of stuff. So just the fact that it looks as good as it does now, just, with round one, I'm just so excited what this garden is going to look like once it's all done. Which, is it ever going to be all done? Probably not, because gardens are never all done, but I can enjoy the process. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.